Hey everybody, welcome back around to the blog Angel. I'm your host Doug here with your video blog for July 30th, 2014. I have a great blog once again planned for you today on this Wednesday afternoon, evening. We're going to have a lot of stuff for sure. We're going to go your New York sports update. I got two-a-days with the Chiefs and the Broncos, and also your Major League Baseball trade deadline headlines. So tune in for those. But first I want to go around training camp. Just some big-time contract extensions and a little bit of some offensive talk in Washington. So let's get to it. First, we're going to head to Cardinals camp. And the big news out of Cardinals camp today was the Patrick Peterson deal. Patrick Peterson, the cornerback for them, signed a 5-year, $70 million deal, with 48 of that being guaranteed. He's now the highest-paid cornerback in the National Football League. And right now, I think he's probably the second best behind Richard Sherman, but he's going to be making more than Sherman, so that just kind of helps him to one him up. Now off to Redskins camp. Redskins news today was that they've been running a lot less zone read. This is going to really help Robert Griffin III, the new coach Jay Gruden, coming in, running less zone read, more of a pro-style offense. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out and how RG3 can do if he's able to throw the ball more. And it should help him and be able to take a little bit of a load off his legs and keep him from being injured. So that's good news in Washington. And then finally, Cowboys camp out in Oxnard, California. We head out there for the deal of a surprising manner for sure. An offensive lineman, Tyron Smith, for the Cowboys, signed an 8-year, $110 million extension. Okay, this is a monster deal for an offensive lineman. $40 million of it is guaranteed, and he also picked up a $10 million signing bonus. So this guy got paid for sure. It's ridiculous what they're paying offensive linemen now, and we'll see what happens. But these guys are made to protect your quarterback, and he's going to be protecting Romo for a little bit longer in Romo's career, and maybe even down the line once the next quarterback comes in. So we'll go around camp again, definitely either Friday or next week, so definitely tune in for that. Time for NFL two-a-days. Our first two-a-day will be with the Denver Broncos. Last year, 13-3, lost in the Super Bowl to the Seattle Seahawks. A very good offense and run defense, but their pass defense was not very good. Draft-wise, I'm going to give them a B+. I think they went out and got some very good players, but I think where they made their real steal was in free agency. They re-signed Von Miller. They go out, they get Chris Harris Jr. at cornerback. They pick up another weapon for him in Emmanuel Sanders. Get a little better on the pass rush with DeMarcus Ware, and they bolster up their back line, bringing in defensive back Aqib Talib. Key departures, they're going to hope that Monte Ball can shoulder the load. They send Noshawn Marino out, and Champ Bailey retires. Ultimately, I think this team is not that far off from what they were last year. Peyton Manning is still ready to go. Still has some weapons, even though Decker's gone. They replaced Decker with Sanders. I'm going to give them a 12-4 finishing mark for this year. All right, let's go to the Major League Baseball trade deadline before we head out to Kansas City Chiefs camp. Big deal today was definitely the Indians. They send Justin Masterson to the Cardinals for the 2012 first-round pick, outfielder James Ramsey. Masterson, 4-6 with a 5.51. I think it's an interesting pickup, definitely. I think the Cards had to do something to make their pitching staff just a little bit better. So I like the pickup here. But the Cards aren't going to be going anywhere, and if they can't find an answer at catcher, because Yadier Molina injured is a big deal. One team that's been surprising that's selling are the Boston Red Sox. Today they sent Felix Doubront to the Cubs for a player to be named. John Lackey is rumored to be on his way to the Miami Marlins, and John Lester, the highest profile of these three, is also rumored to be made and sent to Baltimore. I think these are interesting trades for sure. They're getting rid of 3/5 of their starting rotation. A team coming off a World Series last year is now sellers just a year after. It's remarkable. I'm going to tell you the move that's going to be made, and I think the move that will ultimately be made before the trade deadline is I think the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to pick up one more pitcher. They're either going to go after a John Danks or a similar guy named A.J. Burnett. That's the move that's going to be made. And the other question people are asking is, are the Yankees going to make a move? The Yankees, I think they're going to let this trade deadline slip by without making a move. Maybe one of the guys they're going after, Alex Rios or Marlon Byrd, will hit the waiver wire at some point, and they'll make a claim on him there. But I don't think they're going to make a move. They've made two already, two good moves, and you don't really see the Yankees make moves on the day of the deadline. They still could. I think if they do, they're going out and getting a hitter. All right, time for your second NFL two-a-day today. We go to the Kansas City Chiefs. Last year finishing 11-5, and they blew that 28-point lead in the playoff game to the Colts. I like what they did in their draft, definitely. They were very solid. They went out and got some very good skill players. It's going to be an exciting season for them for sure to go out and get these skill players and see what they can do with some of these guys. No big additions for sure. Their biggest addition, I would say, would be bringing in running back Joe McKnight, who will likely be just another option at kickoff returns. Key departures. They release cornerback Brandon Flowers. They also release cornerback Dante Robinson, and they do not re-sign linebacker Robert James. Ultimately, I think they take a little bit of a step back this year, but I think that whole division does. I got the Chiefs finishing this year at 10-6. All right, time for your New York sports update. Last night, the Yankees won a wild one, 12-11. They're now 55-51, just 2 games back of Toronto for the second wild card spot. Tonight, they'll get it going again tonight in Texas at 8:05. We'll have Hiroki Kuroda. 7-6 with a 3.99 versus Kobe Lewis, 6-8 with a 6.23. Earlier on today, Mets win 11-2. Daniel Murphy with 3 hits. He's now batting .295, and he's hitting over .350 in the month of July. We'll be back on Friday when more. Tiger is going to get back on the course at the Bridgestone. A little bit different kind of a show on Friday. NASCAR is at Pocono, and NFL two-a-days with the Raiders and Chargers. Yankees and Red Sox get teed up as well, so we'll talk about that as well. Always remember to check me out now on sportsmindednews.com with James Williams, JHW Reporter on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at YankeeBaller415. Also, you can comment, questions, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blog Game Drill. I'll be back on Friday. Have a good rest of the week.